Welcome to Calendar Week 12's video. Last week I talked about vulnerability and psychological hygiene. This week I was struck by an epiphany, just a certain flow. It hit me like a ton of bricks. This is kind of the expression I like to use, and it led me into lots of revelations, things that I learned. And so today's focus, this week's focus was on red blood and the endocrine system. So I wrote down 5 things I kind of want to talk about. The first one is blood carries the life of the body, otherwise known as your food, your oxygen, and communication. Food I could describe as lipoproteins, your blood glucose, all those kinds of things. And then everybody knows about oxygen, how important oxygen is. You die after only a couple of minutes of not having oxygen. And then the other one that we know about is our hormones. So we donate blood, it doesn't last long. The idea is that blood is the life of your body. So that's one point I wanted to get across. The second point I wanted to get across is that that I learned this week is that the endocrine system is the second mind of the body. Well, that one's woo-woo, huh? So we all know about our mind and how we think, and about cognition, and about ego, and all those other terms. And it describes like how we feel things, sense things, interpret things. The second body, or the endocrine system, is more about perception, intuition, instincts, primal instincts, animalistic instincts, responses. The endocrine system circulates blood, or it is part of the blood circulatory system. The endocrine system is, from what I understand, the system that deals with the communication, the excretion of hormones throughout the body. So these hormones have different effects in the body. The ones that were kind of most well, I'll go into the third point, and it will be the description of what I'm trying to say. The third point is hormones in the body have a physiological effect. So, on the second point, I said the endocrine system is the second mind of the body, and then my third point was that hormones have a physiological effect in the body. What that means is it's not entirely physical, and it's not entirely psychological, it's both together. So an example would be dopamine. Dopamine's a pleasure hormone. We hear about it all the time. It's the motivator. It's an anticipation of good things. It's why we like to get drunk. We get a release of dopamine. So another one is noradrenaline, or just, adrenaline, which is your fight or fight hormone. And one more example would be melatonin, the sleepiness, or the hormone that's released to encourage you to rest, to go to sleep. So the fourth thing that I learned this week was that red is the symbol of life. Red is primal and animalistic. It has a conscious symbology and an unconscious symbology. What that means is, whenever you see sports cars, everybody's always heard about that myth about you get pulled over, you get more tickets whenever you're driving a red car as opposed to the same car in a different color. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why women put really rich, dark, red lipstick on their lips whenever they're trying to look the most appealing. Red has an effect on our psychology, on our mind, and it's not purely conscious, it's also unconscious. It's the symbol of life. It's what we recognize as life. That's why red is blood, blood is red. The fifth thing that I learned this week is surrendering to control. So last week, I recognized that I hold on to control. I realized that, you know, it doesn't seem, if you know me, it doesn't seem like it'd be that much of an epiphany or a revelation, but I kind of just didn't realize it from a conscious perspective. I just didn't realize how much control I strove to have, how much I needed it, how much I wanted to have it. And so last week I was learning about not having control, just the release of control. And then this week was an attempt to realize the urges of surrender, like letting other things control, i.e. the second mind, the endocrine system. So this week I've been focusing on recognizing natural flow and natural intuition and the hormone releases. I've been trying to feel those, recognize whenever they do come, realize and recognize how certain effects or experiences, like when someone says something that I disagree with, what kind of emotions, what kind of hormones release into my body, like recognizing that. So just being more aware of the natural flow. To summarize, I wrote down some ideas that will help me kind of tie in all these topics and why I wanted to speak about them. So I have a strong knowledge of the endocrine system, or at least the physiology, or only, I guess maybe not a strong knowledge, but I have a knowledge and understanding, a physiological understanding of what the body is and what the endocrine system is. But I've been now using that understanding to help me with surrendering to the flow, like listening to those from a not intellectual way, as a body way, as a feeling kind of way, an emotional way. So that's been helping me to let go of my control and allow me to let other people have the control. So I found that to be extremely helpful for me, and I wanted to, you know, share that with others. The second thing I wanted to summarize was realizing that your hormones, they have an effect. I understand the effect of dopamine, I understand the effect of adrenaline, I understand the effect of melatonin, but I haven't understood why, the cause, the origin, the reasoning. So cause and effect. I have not really understood the cause aspect. So this week has been about understanding the cause of the body, the cause and not just the effect. I think as a control freak I know a lot about the effect, but cause is something that I've been trying to come to grips with, trying to understand more about. Anyway, thanks for watching Conduit 12's video.